Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And they continue with Conarium, blind. I have discovered something. A map, maybe? Oh, and this is where the crank goes, right?
Finally found it. This mural is depicting the continents in the middle... Jurassic era, I believe. This is marvelous, as well as overwhelming. The light from the device is obviously showing the locations of the ancient Conariums. Yes, it definitely is so, for I've known two of these places from the detailed petroglyphs in the secret halls beneath the Khafre's pyramid. But they all had gone now. Even their ruins had been crumbled under the waves of human cruelty and the merciless time. But this lowermost landmass is what we call Antarctica today. It is most probable that the structure that holds the Conarium is mostly enduring still today.
Okay. Do I just leave now? Guess so. So I guess this is all in the past, because that's how they first discovered where to even look, where to go, and that's why they mounted the Antarctica expedition. So the whole sequence in the house was also in the past already. I guess he has gathered all of those artifacts before, because it was talking about how they designed the Conarium machine and all that.
I'd better leave this place immediately.
Probably. I think I'm screwed, or it's scripted. Well, I guess scripted was the answer. Well, apparently I'm back at the base.
It's stuck. It's stuck.
I presume my door might be open at this point?
It won't open.
Yep.
What happened to me?
This is the price we must pay for our transgressions. The price to be paid for breaking away from the limits of mortal flesh and delving into arcana of consciousness that few have trod.
What the hell is going on?
You are naive for suppressing our truest aspirations. Such earthly fear of improbability detached you from our absolute purpose.
I definitely lost my mind.
But who is us in this context? The lizard people? The elder things? That looks like a giant tentacle. And indeed it is.
Oh God, what has happened to him? Dr. Faust, can you hear me? Are you all right?
Yes. I can scarcely hear you. How terrific is the price of a single glimpse behind the veil of nature. Frank, we've sought to escape from the tedium and limitations of waking reality into beckoning vistas of fabled avenues of other dimensions. But did it work? Or was all in vain for us to begin with? I lost my sight and I cannot feel my legs anymore. Our bodies are falling apart under such alien sensations of this accursed device we used to open forbidden doors of time and space. And I feel every part of my body is failing fast. I have no power within me to resist my downward course now. So you have to move on. There is no other way. Reach the ancient Conarium and shed your deteriorated skin. Else consume some of this. It will ease your pain, but eventually you will end up like me. And I'm such small.
Dr. Faust! Dr. Faust! He is dead.
Would you like to consume this? No, because he said it's basically a painkiller, but it won't. But the Verche is also the mixture that they used to enter this trance to begin with. But judging from what he said, I guess in this case, it's going to act as a painkiller as I slowly decompose and die. So I'd much rather check the other option, which I guess is transporting my consciousness throughout the universe into the other Conariums, possibly on other planets or other universes. It might not be the wisest thing to do, but the alternative is basically falling apart. So I guess I might as well try at this point, so I'm not going to consume this. Instead, I'm going to go forward and basically send myself to space and see what happens. That's a giant hand. Unfortunately, I can't see the rest of the statue. At least not yet, but maybe I'm actually closing to it. Well, a bunch of obelisks. Would that be the 5 symbols that always repeat? Because I can enter some kind of a symbol here, right? I think it must be those. Is it? Not really. I think those are some different ones compared to those. Which is interesting. And also kind of confusing, because if it's not those, then where am I supposed to gather clues as to what is inputted where? I guess maybe right here. Noted down the symbols. I wonder what those symbols might be used for. Well, they are probably used for this. So this symbol in the middle is like a golem. So this is... Wait, that doesn't make sense. This is not in the middle. It's supposed to be in here, right? Or the obelisks are supposed to circle around this, but they do not. So I don't quite get that, because I'm not sure how to orientate them, basically. Well, those are the hands, I guess. But still... Oh wait, this goes here. This is some other path entirely. Necronomicon. The book was allegedly written by Abdul al-Hazred, the mad Arab from Yemen, in the 1730s AD. Legend has it that for years he explored the arid deserts of Arabia, primordial temple ruins of Babylon, and untouched catacombs of Memphis. Then he discovered a lost city, half buried amid shifting sands. In his last years in Damascus, al-Hazred penned this notorious book with the knowledge he had gained from his travels. Okay, that's pretty weird to just randomly stumble upon the Necronomicon. I'm even going to go as far as to say that's ridiculous. But, well, what do I know? That's where I came from, isn't it? Where Dr. Faust is? Yeah. Again, I'm not going to drink this, because I would prefer to explore the universe as a disembodied mind, it seems better than, well, better. It seems at the very least more interesting than just slowly decomposing to death. But the problem is, I might be too stupid to actually do that, because I have no idea how to even orientate those symbols, like where is which direction compared to this. I don't know, actually. But let's assume it's aligned, you know, north to south, sort of, and see what happens. So it would be a box, or alternatively the flame, if it's the outwardest ones. Let's try those first. Let's see if they even all exist. So this should be a triangle with a thingamajig. Okay, but this isn't actually it. Although it might be. Maybe it doesn't depict the lines inside for simplicity's sake. So this should be like the battery or whatever. Yeah, this. This should be the weird sign. This one. This should be this. So it is by accident the correct one. And this in turn should also be this. So it's clearly wrong, right? Nothing happened. Yeah, because what I'm confused about is the middle. Like, is there a golem in the middle, or are there like two sets? I don't think there are two sets on of those symbols, because there should be an outer circle and an inner circle. Well, I guess let's try the inner circle now. Provided all the correct symbols even exist in the first place, which I'm not entirely sure. I don't think they do, actually. What even is this, for example? Yeah, I don't know if this is actually doable, unless there are like symbols on this somehow. Because as I said, there are two sets of symbols, right? The outer ones are seemingly aligned, but what about the inner ones? Are there symbols on this? No. Oh, there are symbols on top as well. So let me... So I guess those must correspond, right? So this is like... this must be the top one, right? For example, I think this is this. Let me compare with other ones. Okay, this is very clearly this. So let's try compiling it like that. So this should have the thingamajig, this one. Then I guess this is this. So this should have the fire. This. This is this. So this should have the fireplace, as it were. This one. Now this is this, right? So it has those wiggle symbols, which by some miracle are already correct. Well, correct. I guess that remains to be kind of seen. This is this. So this has the battery, which I guess is more like a rising sun. But in this depiction, this shape makes me think of a battery. Okay, and this is this, and has the triangle. Okay. Well, I'm doing something. Ah, now I need to channel it like all around. Presumably. Is there like a final crystal supposed to go inside, or does this somehow? I guess oh right, it's a golem. They said before that those golems are like dormant vessels for a spirit. So, but I guess this one is activated. What I thought is going to happen is that I'm going to put my mind inside this and basically exchange my body for it. But I guess I was wrong in that regard. But to be honest, I still don't know what this does exactly. Like, I presume I'm quite near the end of the game, and I still don't know. What's the purpose of this golem if it's just standing here? How do I command it or something? I can't go through here. It's clear to me that the golem should somehow, you know, disperse the vines, but how do I make him do it? I don't know. Can I still move those? No. Is there anything left in here? Also no. At least seemingly. And I cannot press this. So what's the matter with the golem? Okay, that's very clearly where I'm supposed to go, and I'm supposed to go there through this bridge. Not how do I cross the bridge? And how do I make the golem disperse the vines? The answer is I have no idea whatsoever. Hello, Mr. Golem. Would be nice if you helped me. Oh, wait. Ah, okay. That's kind of weak. Like, it didn't do anything. I'm just using it as a battery. That's kind of disappointing. I'm not sure if I like that, to be honest. It's like an audience, almost. They are all on those tribunes or walls. Or watching something. And in the distance I can see what looks like a barrier of some sorts, or a portal. So presumably it's a portal to another dimension that I'm going to cross. Obviously, I realize that's a supremely risky idea, and it may be not worth it if I end in some kind of cosmic hell for all of eternity. So maybe it would be more reasonable to just kill myself. But obviously, from a story perspective, I feel like checking out the other dimension is more interesting. Well, sarcophagi full of mummies and little else from the looks of it. Okay, this looks almost like a creature is holding this, like with some claws. Well, again, probably not the wisest thing to do, but still interesting at the very least. Yeah, I guess I transported onto another world as some kind of an alien creature. It could be fun, but that depends on what kind of environment am I going to go into. Like, if I'm going to be an alien slave for all of eternity, then that's probably not the most fun thing ever. But if I'm just going to be a alien, just living an alien world, an alien life on some distant world, then that might actually be kind of fascinating, provided my mind doesn't fall into nothingness because of the difference in perspective, which is a very, which is a very common Lovecraftian trope. But it seemed I was vaguely humanoid, so at least you've already have that. I still had hands and legs, so I guess I could maybe get used to that. Well, whether that was better than dying, I guess, as I said, again, entirely depends on what kind of an alien am I going to be and what kind of a life am I going to lead in the distant cosmos. But I guess that was Conarium. It was okay. Like, every time as of late at least, I play one of those quote-unquote Lovecraftian games, I'm a little disappointed because they never do anything that interesting. Like, I feel like when you're dealing with horrors, outside the realm of reality, with shifting perception and all that, you can do so many creative things. I'm not even saying they have to do anything particularly mind-blowing in the story department. What I am trying to say is that that simply from even a visual from a visual standpoint, there is so much you can do with like hallucinations, shifting images, things you only glimpse on the edge of your vision and all that. And I don't think this game did very much with those concepts. And in terms of a story, it's always a little bit of the same. And where I said at the beginning, I don't have that much of a problem with tropes or with cliches in themselves, and I really don't. Like, I think they might be fun, but the problem is, with those Lovecraftian games and stories in general, sometimes they don't even care about, like, all they give you are allusions and like code words, basically, like keywords. They use blasphemous a lot, or unnatural, or incomprehensible, but they seldom actually bother with coming up with anything that is actually unnatural or blasphemous or whatever. Like in this game, you never really... They were talking about how, it's forbidden for the human mind to venture into the great unknown of the things that man was not meant to know. But they never really came up with what were those things that man was not supposed to know. Like, it seemed like, unwrapping a present that was empty. Like, it was all just packaging. It was all superficial bullshit with, as I said, keywords. A lot of talking about things man was not supposed to know, but in the end, you don't actually, as a player, learn what those things are. Which, you know, I understand it's difficult by the virtue of them being things man was not meant to know. It's difficult to actually, to actually describe them because they are supposed to be indescribable. But I feel like they could have tried at least a little bit harder, because at some point, when you're just waving, terms around as a flag, like, if you're waving the term incomprehensible around, but there's nothing attached to it, things are just incomprehensible because you said they are, and it means nothing. The player has, seen nothing, has experienced nothing that is actually interesting. You're just beating him over the head with the word indescribable and unnatural and blasphemous, but in the end it means nothing, and I feel like that's kind of boring and that's kind of uninspired, really. Like, I wasn't bored with this game. It was okay-ish, but I am, at the end here, again, a little bit disappointed with how superficial it was and how it never really tried to do anything particularly fascinating or interesting or unusual. So I suppose I'm going to forget it in like a month and that's it. But I'm also a little bit salty about how poorly I did. Like, apparently I only found 84% of the things that I could find, like barely over half of the secrets, not all of the documents even, and 15 out of 20 trophies, so that's pretty bad, I would say. But oh well, it's not the kind of a game. I definitely do not feel the need or the inclination to go back and look for those things. I don't care enough. So I guess that was Conarium, and let's see if there's like an after credit scene or something. Do you want to save your results? Whatever. I'm going to delete the game soon enough. Well, so I guess that's all. That was all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.